What's up everyone, this is FP Sticks, and in today's video I'm going to be bringing you some more Ultra Premier Cup battles here using this team of Drifblim in the lead. This is an XL Drifblim, so I've powered it up a little bit past level 40. It is a Hundo IV, and then I'm running Kingdra and Escavalier. I'm going to be using Kingdra pretty much as the safe swap whenever I hard lose the lead. And the thought process behind this team is Drifblim is weak to the ice type users as well as like the electric type users. Kingdra as a safe swap is actually kind of unfairly broken, and it's mainly because of this Octazooka debuff. If you're able to successfully land an Octazooka debuff, it swings so many of these matchups in your favor. And honestly, I really think Octazooka needs some sort of a rework, because it's like a 50% chance, but it feels like it occurs way too frequently. But Escavalier in the back is the hard counter to the ice types like Obamasnow, Lapras, as well as it's a really good punish to anyone that safe swaps a Snorlax onto my Drifblim. It also beats Obstagoon in the lead, which is another problem for Drifblim. And in these first couple battles, you're going to see me lose once because of very terrible lag, and lose because of some tough team comps as well. And I was getting comfortable using this team and just jumping right into it. These battles are at the 3200 rating range, so definitely playing against some of the top battlers in the world. And when you make silly mistakes, you kind of get punished for it. But let's jump right into these battles and see what we can learn from my mistakes, or maybe some good plays that I make here. So this first battle was super frustrating. So it's a Drifblim mirror match. Look what happens right here. Somehow my Drifblim is moving in slow motion while my opponent is continuously getting fast moves faster than me. So not only are they ahead on energy, they also are winning CMP. Even though my Drifblim is about 70 CP higher and easily wins CMP in the mirror match, so I have to commit both shields. Because not only once, but twice does it happen where our fast moves get out of sync and they continuously get more energy and are able to beat me in CMP. So it's very, very bad start for me. Out comes Snorlax. I'm not even going to stay in here. I'm going to store a move and safe swap the Kingdra. Out comes Machamp. I have no shields, so this cross chop is going to do a lot of damage. Ouch. Just going to go straight for the Octazooka here. Even if they no shield this, it's going to do a good chunk of damage. I get the debuff, which this is actually kind of worse for me because it offers them more farm. Because I stored a move with this Drifblim, I'm going to throw this Icy Wind. And they let the Machamp go. My switch clock is not up, unfortunately, so I'm still stuck here against this Snorlax. I'm going to throw this Icy Wind. All they have left is this Snorlax, so I'm able to debuff it, and then I'm able to swap into my Escavalier. This first battle, I was a little bit heated after how laggy the opening was, so you're going to see I actually have a potential win condition here that I just completely ignore because I'm still so frustrated about how the opening of this battle went. So I get super powered. I'm continuing to farm here because I, for some reason, just forgot that my Drifblim was alive. I just completely forgot that my Drifblim was alive. And as you can see, I would have been I'm able to get to this Icy Wind. I should have thrown Drill Run to burn the last shield, and then Icy Wind would have KO'd. I still could have won that game despite the terrible lag, but a prime example of me playing while distracted and not good. So Drifblim does beat Swampert in even shields. You can just go straight Icy Wind, but you don't want to just build up to the energy for Icy Wind and throw it, because then they know that you're going to Icy Wind. No matter what, you do have to shield the first move that they throw if they don't throw before that Icy Wind. But once I build up the Shadow Ball energy on the first one, but still throw the Icy Wind, from there you can just continuously go Icy Wind. I really want to be able to hex down this Swampert. Out comes Gengar. Oh man. Let's just watch. It's just a Sludge Bomb, right? I can tank this. See you later, Kingdra. All I needed to do was just shield that, and I would have been able to farm down. And now Gengar is going to output damage on my Drifblim as well. So this was also the battle following that first opening battle where I just threw it for no reason because of the lag. So I just leave it. I played so terribly. Good games to my opponent. There was still a win condition there, though. Obamasnow lead is not great, so I'm going to insta-swap the Kingdra. And typically, my opponents that lead Obamasnow don't have a direct response to Kingdra in the back. So I'm going to shield this up. Out comes Machamp. I'm just going to go straight for the Octazooka here and hope that I get the debuff. I do get a shield, good for me. No debuff. That's not great. But even from a Shadow Machamp, Driplim can pretty easily tank a Rock Slide. I do shield up this Cross Shot because I want to force them to burn energy or have to commit a second shield here with the Octazooka. They do shield. I get the debuff right there, which is nice for me, but that actually offers them more farm. But now these Rock Slides are nowhere near as threatening. You can see with this attack debuff how much it's going to do. A little bit less than half, and they cannot counter me down. I'm able to hex it down. They still have the Obamasnow, insta-swap Escavalier, and unfortunately, it is a Gliscor in the back. That is not great for me at all. Gliscor is hitting me for neutral with the wing attacks, and they have access to Earthquake, which is easily going to one-shot my Escavalier, and there's no way that I can have enough health or energy with my Drifblim to take out the Obamasnow and this Gliscor. But it was a close battle, despite those really tough counters in the lead. This, unfortunately, Escavalier is somewhat easily walled by flyers. Other than Dragonite, that's a decent matchup there, but you do need to be aware of that. I've also now been running this team with a Typhlosion in the back, and so we'll see how that tends to perform. But this matchup of Drifblim against Empoleon, I really wanted to catch a Hydro Cannon there, but I fail, and I catch a Drill Peck. That's fine by me. It doesn't do that much damage. My opponent is staying in, and they're very slow to swap in Venusaur here, but I know that I'm not going to be able to get to 2 moves, so I just go for the Outrage, and I get a shield. Fine by me. They led Empoleon. Out comes the Venusaur. I'm wondering what they might have in the back. I do have a shield advantage here. I do throw this Icy Wind before I get hit by another Frenzy Plant, which is good for me, because Frenzy Plant still does a decent chunk. I really want to be able to hex down this Venusaur and have a lot of stored energy. I know the Empoleon still has stored energy. Gonna throw this Icy Wind and see what they want to do here. They let it go. I still have 2 shields. Out comes Empoleon. It's gonna throw here. I will shield this up. I don't know what's in the back, but if it's a Charizard, I'm concerned. I overfarm a little bit, but I really should have just gotten out of here because the waterfall damage is doing too much. They let the Shadow Ball go through. It's a Gallade in the back, so I have to make a call. I have to make a call. Are they going to bait me, or are they going to go for close combat? They don't have back-to-back close combats here. I thought they were going to bait. They did not. I was incorrect, and that is what cost me the game. So, nice play by my opponent. I had to make a tough call there, and I called it wrong. This is a very favorable lead for me. Out comes Snorlax. This is a very favorable swap for me. Typically, I'd like to wait until the Snorlax throws a superpower and then throw my Drill Run because I do know that Escavalier wins CMP. So I let this superpower go through, then I'm going to queue up my Drill Run. And because I was relatively fast at this swap, I'm going to be able to take out the Snorlax before I can get to another move. That's really good for me. The Escavalier is going to come out and farm down again, but it doesn't matter because Drifblim is such a hard counter to the Escavalier. Gonna be able to get off this Drill Run as well. Does nice chip damage. I know they're gonna swap here at any moment. There's the Swampert, so I'm just gonna Icy Wind, chip this, and then bring out my Kingdra. Kingdra double resists water type attacks because of the water and dragon typing. And I've debuffed it already, so I don't even care what this move is. It is an Earthquake, so props to them. They landed a lot of damage there, but it doesn't matter. Drifblim is going to win this game for me. Just let this go. I survived the Hydro, able to farm it down, and I have loaded energy. Just going to go for the Octazooka. It hits for neutral here. It's not a very strong move, but that debuff chance is nice. I'm able to hex down the Escavalier. Favorable team comp for me there. Good game to my opponent. Drifblim and a Venusaur, very positive for me, but I also have Escavalier, which is a hard counter to this as well. Out comes Gengar. I'm not going to immediately get out of here, but I am going to shield once, and then I want to throw this Icy Wind. If they shield this, I can come in with Kingdra and kind of just farm down, but they let it go, which is not great for me. I'm still able to farm down. For sure the Venusaur is going to come in, and I really want to get this Outrage off. They do barely win CMP there, or it might have been desync, but Kingdra, because it only takes neutral damage from grass type attacks, can easily tank that Frenzy. Gonna be able to... I wanted to farm down the Venusaur, but they don't allow me to. Our switch clocks are very out of sync, so I get farmed down by this Empoleon, which is not great. Escavalier is a great response to this, though. And so I'm going to bring out the Escavalier, and at this point, I have the counters where I need them to be. Good game. Drifblim into Kingdra. This is such a weird matchup because we both have debuffing moves that don't do that much damage to each other, but if you land the nuke, then it does a lot of damage. So I'm going to go for this Icy Wind. Everyone expects Icy Wind right off the bat, but this allows me to bring out my own Kingdra onto their Kingdra. I will shield this up. And then they bring out their own Drifblim on my Kingdra. Kind of funny. Even if this is Shadow Ball, I'm going to survive it. And I'm going to go for the Octazooka debuff here and see what they want to do. I get the debuff, which makes it so they can't hex me down. I'm going to go for another Octazooka here. And I get both debuffs. That's got to be so frustrating. I know it's so frustrating because I've been on the other end of Kingdra so many times, and it's just absolutely ridiculous. Gonna bring out my Drifblim, able to hex it down. I know they have Obamasnow in the back, so Escavalier is really gonna have to clean up this game for me. Gonna go for the Drill Run here. Both hit for neutral, but Drill Run is definitely a better move than Aerial Ace. And I get the shield. At this point, this is going to be the move that does the most damage. They land the Octazooka, and I get debuffed, so they throw the debuff in return. Because of this debuff, these Aerial Aces are not going to be doing hardly any damage. That is not good. That is not good at all. Even though I'm resisting all of the Obamasnow's moves here, man, this debuff hurts. I'm able to get this Aerial Ace off. That's good for me. I just really hope that I'm not going to get Powder Snowed down. Please don't Powder Snow me down. They do throw energy, which is good for me. But my Drifblim is barely at an Icy Wind here, so I will be able to take out this Obamasnow and win that battle. Good game. Drifblim into Obstagoon. Not great, so I'm just going to get out of here. So this is what happens every single time. The Obstagoon throws a Night Slash, and then in comes Venusaur most likely. And the reason that they do this is because it puts me in Frenzy Plant range. So it makes sense. Makes sense. I'm only going to be able to get to one move here because I'm going to get outpaced. So I just go for the nuke. But this does allow them to farm up a lot of energy. There is a case to be made that I could go for Octazooka there, assuming that they would shield. But if they no-shield that Octazooka, it's so bad for Kingdra. So I'd rather just take the consistent damage output. Gonna bring out the Drifblim to soak up all this damage and try to farm up as much as possible. But I am very concerned that there's a Charizard in the back, because that's a typical line people run, is Obstagoon in the lead and then Charizard and Venusaur. I'm gonna throw this Icy Wind. I farmed up a lot of energy with my Drifblim. They're gonna bring out Obstagoon again, so I'm just looking to instant swap. There it is, and it is a Charizard in the back, and it's a Fire Spin Charizard. Very bad for me. Good game to my opponent. So Drifblim into Skarmory. Drifblim does win CMP, and if you can successfully land a Shadow Ball, I like to just go straight Icy Wind from there on out. This is just a Sky attack, so I don't need to shield this first one. Skarmory is technically very bad for this entire team, so I'm glad that I'm seeing it in the lead. They get a free fast move through. And now I'm going to throw this Icy Wind. I think this was a CMP tie, and Drifblim does win it here. It was. So I got the debuff. I'm going to shield this. I am down a shield. Out comes Dragonite, and then I'm just going to bring my Kingdra on this and shield once and try to take this out. But I'm in a pretty bad spot here. I'm out of shields. My opponent has 2 shields. I have to throw the Octazooka, or this Dragonite is going to get to another move. I'm able to farm it down, but I'm out of shields. This is such a rough spot. I know they still have Skarmory, but it's low. Out comes Machamp. Oh, there's just no way. Yeah, Machamp is going to sweep my backline with 2 shields. Good game to my opponent. All right, Charizard in the lead. My opponent instant swaps to Snorlax, which is kind of interesting. I don't know what fast move they have on their Charizard quite yet, but I'm really glad that my S-Cavalier gets to avoid the Charizard. They throw the superpower very early there, so I'm just going to throw this Drill Run, and then I should be able to farm down without getting hit by a move. Good for me. Out comes the Charizard most likely. I will get to see what fast move they're rolling with. If it's Dragon Breath, that's way worse for my Kingdra, and it is Dragon Breath. That's not good for my Kingdra at all. And they're getting a jump start on energy, so this is not good for my Drifblim at all either. But I have to bring out Drifblim here. And if this is a Blast Burn, it is going to really sting. So I will shield that up, thank goodness. It's an Obamasnow in the back. This is not great for me. Going to go for this Icy Wind, but they probably no-shield it, anticipating that it is an Icy Wind, and I'm correct. But this debuffs their attacks. I would like to be able to farm this all the way down, but we're going to have to gauge how much energy these moves are going to do. Really don't want to have to commit my shield on Kingdra. But they're going to get to another move. This is just not good for me at all. Gonna let this go through. And I'm going to throw this Octazooka here and see what they want to do. This provides minimal farm for the Charizard. At this point, I definitely just need to go straight Icy Wind, but I have to make a call. Are they going to go for a Dragon Claw bait, or are they going to go for the Blast Burn? My only win condition is if I correctly no-shield a Dragon Claw. So here it goes. And I was finally correct here. This actually is going to allow me to barely win this game. It's very close. But thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you appreciate the content. I'm continuing to try out new teams, and I really enjoy using Drifblim. But I will catch you all in the next video.